Hello, and welcome to the Knightsman Channel. What we got today is we got the Cyberpunk 2077 review. It's going to be huge. It's going to be an awesome video. It's going to help you decide whether to buy it or not. But before we crack on with that, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, bell notification, and strap yourself in. It's going to be an awesome video. Let's go. What a game to deep dive into and do a review about. Cyberpunk 2077. Now, I've spent many hours within the Night City exploring the streets, shooting the hood rats, and living through mission after mission, so I've a pretty good idea at what state the game is in, and I've been playing the game on a PlayStation 4 Pro, and the latest updated version is 1.6. Now, this video we will focus on our honest thoughts, reactions, feelings, improvements, and the overall verdict on whether to buy the game or not, so make sure to stick around and get that value. Cyberpunk 2077 is a first-person open-world action adventure RPG with choice and consequences at its heart. The game is set in a night city, a vast, futuristic metropolis obsessed with technology and body modification. Players take on the role as V, a cyber-enhanced mercenary, looking to make it big in the city of dreams, tracing down a prototype implant that is the key to immortality. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, the company has had a rough release, riddled with lots of groundbreaking bugs from, pretty much stopping missions, missing NPCs, dulled graphics, missing items, the list goes on. It has mainly affected the base version of the PlayStation 4 and the base version of the Xbox. That is where, a lot of players have had a lot of problems with crashing games, and not being able to load. Pretty much just unplayable. Now, because I was running it on the Pro, I didn't have too much of those problems. There were only a few bugs here or there, but really my first impression wasn't tainted at all. So I'm going to come in with that perspective. The biggest positive here is that the developer cares about the game and its reputation. Mainly, they will not let the game roll over and die. No, they are too big and well respected to let that happen. They have continued to make updates, which has continually improved the game with each version, and it's definitely, as time goes on, is more and more playable, and it is really the game it should have been at launch. Now, with that out of the way, let's deep dive into my thoughts about the actual game. I think the game is epic. It is like a futuristic Grand Theft Auto with a dash of punk. The driving and shooting and straight up shooting aspect of the game feels familiar. You can literally drive around Night City for hours and just lose yourself in the side missions and the absolute beautiful graphics that the Night City has and all the different districts. It's a wonder, and it feels familiar. And that's the main thing. And as well as the shooting aspect of things, you want a game where you can just jump pretty much straight in and not really have to learn too much. It's just they've got the shooting aspect down on point. Now, one thing in regards to the shooting is you do need to kind of feel out the different ways that they approach the shooting as well, with all these different upgrades, improvements that you can make on your tech weapons and stuff like that, bouncing bullets off the walls or curving them, all that sort of stuff. They really do it well, and it's pretty refreshing to what's out there at the moment. With an open arsenal of improvements to both your body and weapons, I found the perk systems at first a little overwhelming, with layer upon layer stacked up. I didn't know which route to go down, and there was no clear instruction of what type of builds that I should do. It would have been great if there was a specific NPC which could guide me and teach me through having different setups. So I'm a type of guy which loves the run and gun sort of style, but there are sure different elements of stealth and hacking abilities which could have worked a treat. And I learnt that later down the track, playing a little bit more of the game. But it would have been great having that at the very start. Not a tutorial, but someone that you can go to and really get guided through on what route you want to do and what build you want to create. However, as I progressed through the game, I gave more notice in what perks will work well for me. So don't stress, you will have plenty of time. Now, a quick rundown of what I was just talking about having an NPC kind of guide you into different builds. So I'm just going to name a few here. So we've got a Cyber Ninja. So that's a build where you invest in reflexes and cool and focus on the stealth kills, the throwing knives and poisoning enemies, that sort of stuff, utilizing blades, skills to slice through enemies, enhance that invisibility feeling, so you can invest into breach protocol, allowing you to hack cameras and turrets, different aspects. That's a completely different build to what I am used to, and if that was more explained to me in the game, I might have gone down that path a bit earlier. Another example of a build is a tech gunslinger. So that's investing in reflexes and technical ability. So that will allow you to specialize in tech revolvers, using your capabilities to their full extent, which means you can use tech guns to pierce through walls and cover, making enemies vulnerable to your offense no matter where they hide. That makes them easier targets. You can invest in some quick hacks, which disrupt their locomotives or their cyberware, leaving enemies kind of rooted in place or pretty much sitting ducks. So that's again, I utilize a little bit of that aspects, those skills in the tech gunslinger aspect. Another build is a brawler, so that's investing in body and intelligence. Might seem like a strange combination, but it's for a solid damage dealing build. So for that, it's pretty easy to you can keep have enemies keep shooting at you, and you're pretty much pretty strong because you've invested in that body. But that's where hacking comes into handy. Can apply various damage over time effects on enemies, quick hacks which create windows of opportunity, allowing you to kind of rush in and crush them with your cyber enhanced fists. All these different sort of stuff I wish a NPC kind of shown me before. So that's what I was kind of harping on about. But I did really enjoy the different characters customizations, especially from the start, where you can design your own character, and that then goes into the different life paths. Now, for the different life paths, I did play about roughly 2 hours on each before I even kind of went deep into the game, because I just wanted to see how they were. And because we got street kids, the nomad and the corporate. Now, I guess a little thing I wish they kind of done is they fleshed out each individual life path a little bit more, because at the moment what you're doing is you're getting pretty much the first hour of the game, and each of the life paths are different, but after that hour they then reconverge into the same story path. Now, for me, I wish that they had them completely different, with different missions, with different storylines, so that I can replay this game and spend another 50 hours on a different life path. So that's a definite little pickup point from my end. However, the one I did choose was the Street Kid. It was the first kind of one. The more time I did put into the Street Kid, however, I definitely did like the corporate kind of vibe, and so it wasn't too bad. If I could pin it next to another game and kind of what it feels like, if they kind of, if you know what Dying Light 2, how their story system kind of works, where you can go down multiple different angles, if they applied that a little bit more with these life paths, I think that would be more engaging. However, it does start the game off, and you kind of do get rooted into if you're a nomad or street kid with that street kid kind of vibe, then that is what it is. Regardless, I did enjoy the story from start to finish. The game's compelling characters mixed in with the enjoyment, and the speech was fluid, often asking, a bit more questions to get a little bit more info from those NPCs. I'm all about a game that, is engaging, and I do believe that I was engaged from start to finish. Night City has a way of throwing more and more side quests as you dive deeper into the nightlife and into the city. Some things to go over. So I did really enjoy the street cred kind of system, especially as I was a street kid. It kind of made me feel like I did want to improve my cred, building my legacy within Night City. A fluid class system which they implemented means having full control of your playstyle and ending up with one that feels built from the ground up, and I think they've done that really well with how customizable your character V was, and the mix of all the above elements is demonstrated. Like it, they do it well, where yes, the perk system does feel overwhelming at the start, however, as you deep dive into it a little bit further, then that's where you start laying on those layers that will eventually make you who you are. My final verdict on the game is an easy one. It is an excellent and rich game with a lot of potential. It is on the cusp of being one of the best games of 2020. However, with all the small bugs snowballing into bigger problems, it has really prevented this game from being the best. Regardless, I do recommend the game, and with the latest update and patch, the game continues to be smoother and better as they go along. It is a very ambitious game, and with an ambitious game comes a lot of bit of teething issues. That they've spent so long developing this world, and you can really see it within the amount of detail that they've put into the cities, the amount of detail they put into the characters, the missions, the speech. Everything they've done, I think, has been top notch. It's just obviously, the first dilemma of having all those a lot of little bugs which kind of did turn into big stuff, and for people, I think first impression is a huge aspect. For me, it was pretty good. I didn't have too many bugs, as I've said before, so that didn't really push me or sway me to kind of sell the game. I just kind of tucked it away, let it fester, let the improvements happen, and then I kind of cracked on. And once I cracked on with the latest updates, then obviously getting a lot of the trophies, I wasn't too worried that those missable trophies would be a huge problem. So I have no doubt that the game is good, and it's going to be even better as we progress through more and more updates. I absolutely did love the game, and I'm a huge fan of the developer, and I just want to say, everyone out there, give the game a chance. It will grow on you. And that is why I'm giving a game a Knightsman 8 out of 10 for the score. So definitely I recommend buying it, enjoying it, and don't listen to the negativity. It will definitely grow on you. Now, I am looking forward, already for another Cyberpunk game or another Witcher game. I'm absolutely love what the developer does, and I can't say anything bad about them, really. All that little stuff in regards to all the negativity they've been having, it's just water under the bridge. It will pass, I believe, as the game gets better and better as it's currently doing. Then there's going to be no problem. In the next couple months, people are going to forget about all the bugs, and then they're going to actually look at the game for its face value of where it has come from, and it's only on the up for me personally. And I've played it now for a good many hours, and I'm not bored of it. The bugs haven't deterred me from giving up the game. So I think for me it's a definite platinum game if you're going for the trophies. And I think the final verdict says it all. I believe in the developer, and I believe in the state at which the game is currently at. Now, I do understand that they're still cracking on with making more and more adjustments into making the graphics better or making it more playable on the older generation consoles. So just stick with it. I'm definitely holding out to get a PlayStation 5 at the start of the year, and I think that game is really designed for a PlayStation 5 or the new Xbox, right? Because it has more capacity to load the environment. And as you know, Cyberpunk has a huge city and a huge amount of data to load. So, having the SSD is definitely going to help with the loading times and with having a smoother frame rate and all that stuff. I kind of expected it to really have this reaction on the older consoles, because the game is too big and too advanced really for these older consoles to really be able to fully utilize what they've done. Yes, I do understand that when they did start developing the game, that it was for, I guess, the PlayStation. However, as you develop it, and it's been in development for so long, that it's an ambitious game. And that's why, I do think they probably should have held off on the older consoles and released it on the newer ones, and then kind of kept updating it, or just held off, delayed it again until the start of the year. But definitely, CD Projekt Red, if you're listening, send it out earlier, send your games out to the people, let them pick it up prior to your big release. I'm happy to be one of those people. I'm happy to play it and tell you as many bugs as I run into, so you can make it smoother, because I'm banking on your success, because I want more games from you. So definitely, keep that head high, keep doing what you're doing. Don't listen to that negativity. People out there, get the game, enjoy it. 8 out of 10 for the Knightsman score. It is a solid score. So yeah, look, I'm fully enjoying it, and I'm going to continue to enjoy it as I progress. I'm just about there for the Platinum Trophy, so yeah, I'm going to keep cracking on now. I'm going to give it a little bit of a break and then crack back into it the start of next year. But definitely, look out for more content as we push into 2021. Hit the like button, subscribe button, bell notification if you haven't. Become a Knightsman. Enjoy reactions from us, enjoy reviews, all that sort of stuff. We provide this value for you, so you can determine whether the game is worth buying or not. Thank you for listening. The overall verdict is a smashing yes. Get the game. I think it is good to go now. Surely with the update on the 1.6 and with future updates, you can't go wrong. So that is us. That is Knightsman now. Thank you. Enjoy the end of the year, and have a great 2021. That is Knightsman out. Cha-ching.